everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Lizzie Joanna, student of IMNI International Business School.
Today I will talk about global economy and international business course.
But before, I wanna say thank you first to my professor, Roy Sembel, and my professor, Yulita Susanti, who has guided me to learn from this course. So please enjoy my video and happy watching!
So, the global economy refers to interconnected and interdependence of economy around the world. Understanding the global economy involves analyzing various factors, including economic growth, trade flow, monetary policies, exchange rate, and geopolitical events.
When we talk about global economy, then we talk about GDP. GDP is the standard measure of the value created through the production of goods and services in a country during a certain period. Next, globalization. Globalization is a term used to describe how trade and technology have made the world into a more connected and independent place. The term new economy refers to industry adapting to changing technology, using it to meet business goals, include productivity, quality, efficiency, customer satisfaction, and profit. And this is the new economy. The process of exchanging products and services between nations is known as international trade. This covers all forms of transportation, including air and sea freight, as well as import and export. The existence of government policies, variations in technology, variations in research endowment, demand, and the existence of economy of scale are the five primary drivers of international commerce. This chapter teach me about tariff and quota as well. Import tax, as known as tariff, the importers are responsible for paying the tariff, which are frequently levied by the government as a proportion of the value of the imports. Import quantity limits are known as quota. When a commodity is subject to government quota, imports are informed that their total importation into the nation is limited to this quantity. In this chapter also contains surplus from producer and consumer. The gap between consumer willingness to pay and the price they actually paid for a product is known as the consumer surplus. The difference between the market price and the lowest price a producer is willing to take in order to create a good is known as the producer surplus. A global currency is one that has no boundaries and is used for cross-border transaction. Currency risk, also known as exchange rate risk, is the risk that foreign investor or business operating internationally face in terms of erratic profits or loss resulting from fluctuation in the value of one currency relative to another. Foreign exchange risk can be broadly classified into three categories. First, transactional, second, translational, and last is economic. The capacity to produce more goods and services at a higher quality than rivals give an absolute advantage. Comparative advantage, on the other hand, refers to capacity to produce goods or services at comparatively lower opportunity cost. The period between mid-2007 until early 2009, when global banking system and financial markets were under tremendous strain, is referred to as the global financial crisis. The cheap credit and loose lending standard that fueled the housing bubble in 2008 were the root cause of the financial crisis. The banks were left with trillions of dollars worth of worthless subprime mortgage investment when the bubble burst. What is subprime mortgage? Subprime mortgage is a kind of home loan given to people whose credit history are bad, non-existent, or only partially completed. Subprime mortgage usually have higher interest than standard mortgage because borrowers in this situation pose a greater risk to lenders. The following are some of the most important effects of the global financial crisis on the global economy. Sharp drops in economic activity, falling output, and rising unemployment characterize the global recession that the crisis brought about. The global trade of capital, technology, knowledge, goods and service across border is referred to as international business. International business transactions involve contracts that allow foreign companies to use goods, service, and procedure from other nations. Global opportunity include access to research, talent acquisition, market expansion, and teamwork. Individuals and companies can open up new paths for development, creativity, and success in the global economy by seizing these changes. The globalization of production and market has transformed the business landscape by enabling companies to access resources, optimize operation, and expand their customer base globally. Now we're gonna talk about strategic alliance. Strategic alliance is cooperative agreement or partnership that unites two or more organizations in order to accomplish mutually advantageous objectives. International business also operates within various dimensions that shape its operation and interaction. And now we are already in chapter 6. In this chapter we're gonna talk about the strategy, all of the strategy like international strategy, transnational strategy, multi-domestic strategy, and global strategy. First, strategy is a plan of action designed to achieve specific goals or objectives. It involves making decisions and allocating resources to effectively utilize an organization's capability and achieve a competitive advantage. International strategy is an approach with low level of global integration and local reactivity. Global strategy is a business plan that outlines how a company will operate and compete in the global market. The multi-domestic strategy is strategy to develop subsidiaries or affiliates in each of its foreign markets. And last, transnational strategy refers to a plan of action defined by a company that conducts its operation across global borders. And now we're gonna talk about strategic objective. Strategic objective is specific and measurable for accomplishment of a goal. And this is how to write the strategic objective. The first one, you should focus on the area and structure each strategic objective correctly, and you find the optimal number of strategic objectives. In this chapter also talk about foreign market entry strategy. For international trade, foreign market entry models are two ways in which a company can expand the service into a domestic market. There are two major types of market entry models, equity and non-equity. The five strategies to enter the international markets are direct exporting, licensing, franchising, joint venture, and wholly owned subsidiary. Finally, we already in last chapter. The first chapter discussion is corporate governance. Corporate governance is the system of procedure and process by which corporation and manage, direct, and control. It provides the means through which firms undertake ethical behavior, CSR, and sustainability. Ethic and appropriate behavior are essential in international business. Ethics are moral principles and values that govern the behavior of people, firms, and government regarding right and wrong. And CSR, or corporate social responsibility, is a self-regulatory business model that business employ to make a positive impact on the environment, society, and the economy. And that's all from me. I hope my video can be useful for all of you. And thank you. See you next video.